He ran as if his life depended on it, and then he was gone. It was July 2014. Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old engineer from northern Germany, was taking a long overdue summer break with friends in Bulgaria's seaside resort town of Golden Sands. Sun, beaches, and cheap beer. Everything a carefree trip should be. But what began as a holiday with laughter and sand between their toes would end in a disappearance that baffles investigators to this day. One night, Lars got into a brief argument at a bar. Reports say it was over football teams. The scuffle left him with a ruptured eardrum. A local doctor prescribed antibiotics and advised him not to fly until it healed. When his friends headed home, Lars decided to stay behind, just for a few extra days. No one knew it would be the last time they saw him. Alone in a foreign country, Lars began acting strange. He told his mother that he was being followed.
Someone wants to kill me.
At one point, hotel staff reported he hid in the elevator and vanished for hours, before reappearing pale and shaking. What had happened to him in those few days remains one of the biggest questions in this case. On July 8, 2014, Lars called his mother again, desperate to get home. She booked him a flight and wired money. At Varna Airport, he saw a doctor for clearance to fly. Witnesses say he seemed anxious, pacing, muttering about the pills he'd been given. Then, without warning, he bolted. He sprinted out of the airport terminal, climbed a fence, and disappeared into the surrounding fields. His phone, wallet, and suitcase were found abandoned. In the years since, there have been reported sightings, but none confirmed. So, what was Lars running from? Was it paranoia, or a threat we still don't understand? To understand why Lars Mittank ran into the woods that day, we have to go back to the fear that consumed him in the final 72 hours of his life. After his friends left Bulgaria, Lars checked into a small, cheap motel near Varna Airport called the Color Hotel. He seemed calm at first, but by morning, everything had changed. Hotel staff later told police that Lars appeared terrified. He told the receptionist that 4 strange men were following him and that he needed to hide. Moments later, he vanished from the hotel, leaving behind his luggage, medicine, and wallet. Hours later, he returned, shaken and pale, and begged the receptionist to help him find a taxi to the airport. At Varna Airport, Lars visited a doctor to confirm if he was fit to fly. The doctor prescribed a mild antibiotic, cephalexin, and told him he could go home. But something about the doctor's office seemed to trigger panic. According to witnesses, as another man entered the room, Lars froze, his face drained of color.
I don't want to die here. Then, suddenly, he shouted, I don't want to die here, and ran.
He sprinted across the parking lot, scaled a high fence, and disappeared into a field bordered by dense woods. Bulgarian police launched a full-scale search. Drones, sniffer dogs, and volunteers combed the area. But there was nothing. No body, no trace, no clue. It was as if Lars had evaporated into thin air. His family flew to Bulgaria and distributed missing person flyers.
They refused to give up. His mother, Sandra, appeared on international media, her voice trembling as she begged, "Please, if anyone sees my son, help him."
Over the years, theories have poured in, each one more haunting than the last. Some experts believe Lars suffered a sudden psychological break, perhaps triggered by infection, medication side effects, or trauma from the fight. Paranoid delusions could explain his fear, his whispers about being followed, and his flight response at the airport. Others point to Bulgaria's reputation for organized crime near tourist areas. Could Lars have witnessed something he shouldn't have, or become an unknowing target? His paranoia, they argue, might not have been paranoia at all. Medical professionals suggest his ear injury could have caused a concussion, leading to disorientation and panic. Combined with isolation and stress, Lars may have entered a fugue state, fleeing into the woods without realizing what he was doing. Years later, alleged sightings surfaced. A man living homeless in Bulgaria, another in the forests of Poland, a stranger on CCTV in Canada. Each time, investigators chased the lead. Each time, it ended in heartbreak. None of them were Lars. Over a decade later, Sandra Mittank still keeps her son's photo pinned to her kitchen wall. In interviews, she says she believes he's alive, somewhere out there, lost or afraid. Every year she posts online, hoping the internet will remember his face. How does a man vanish in broad daylight at one of Europe's busiest airports with cameras everywhere? Did Lars run from danger, or run into it? In part 3 we dig into new evidence, police inconsistencies and haunting witness statements. Clues that might finally explain what happened to Lars Mittank. I just discovered that a great percentage of viewers are not subscribed to this channel. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share your thoughts on what you think the lasting impact of Lars Mittank's disappearance would be. It's been more than 10 years, and there's still no trace of Lars Mittank. No body, no belongings, no explanation, just silence, and 1,000 unanswered questions. The area where Lars disappeared, just beyond Varna Airport, is surrounded by vast open fields, thick bushes, and a stretch of forest that quickly swallows sound and sight. Police said they searched thoroughly, but locals who joined the search claim entire sections of land were left untouched. Some even said they spotted unidentified men searching the area before the official police arrived. Why would anyone else be there first, and what were they looking for? Lars left behind everything, his suitcase, phone, passport, and wallet. But weeks later, a hiker claimed he found torn clothing near a field 5 kilometers away. Clothes that looked like they'd been ripped off in a struggle. Police dismissed it as unrelated. No DNA tests were made public. The evidence, if it ever existed, disappeared, just like Lars. The case's timeline raises serious questions. Why were Lars's belongings left unsecured for nearly 48 hours after he vanished? Why was there no follow-up with the doctor who last saw him, the one he ran from in terror? And why did airport security fail to review the full CCTV trail beyond the terminal exit?
It's like parts of the story were intentionally left blank, one investigator said years later. There are holes in this case big enough to walk through.
Before disappearing, Lars searched for cheap flights, safe routes out of Bulgaria, and medicine side effects. His final text to his mother was chillingly brief. "Call me when you wake up." She never got to. His phone was later found powered off, with its SIM card missing. Over the years, fragments of unreleased footage have been rumored, airport hallways, exterior cameras, even road checkpoints. But Bulgarian authorities never made them public. Some journalists claim there's one final clip, Lars entering a tree line just beyond the fence. If true, it could be the last moment he was ever seen alive. But that footage has never been verified. Online investigators from Reddit to YouTube have pored over every second of the CCTV tape, every witness account, every translation error in the police files. They've spotted inconsistencies, changes in timestamps, cropped angles, and possible missing frames. But with no cooperation from local authorities, their findings remain speculation. One theory even suggests Lars escaped and started a new life, a man running not from others, but from himself. Others believe he met with foul play, and someone made sure he would never be found. Was Lars truly paranoid, or was someone really after him? Every detail, from the fight to the doctor's office to his terrified sprint, feels connected. But without hard evidence, all that remains is a haunting uncertainty. Maybe the truth lies somewhere between fear and reality. Maybe the forest near Varna still holds the secret. Or maybe it was buried long ago. In the next episode, we'll explore the lasting impact of Lars Mittank's disappearance, the obsession it sparked, the lives it changed, and the questions it forces us to ask about mental health, safety abroad, and how a single moment can alter everything. Because sometimes, it's not just about how someone vanished, it's about why they ran.
He's been called Europe's most famous missing tourist, a mystery that refuses to fade, a face that the internet can't forget. 10 years on, the name Lars Mittank still echoes across forums, documentaries, and late-night conversations. His case became more than a disappearance. It became a symbol of how fragile the line between safety and danger can be. Every year, travelers pass through that same airport, glancing at the fields beyond the fence, the place where Lars was last seen. The silence there feels heavy, like the ground itself remembers. For Sandra Mittank, the search never stopped. She keeps his photo by her bedside, his room untouched. In interviews, she says she dreams that one day he'll walk through the door, confused, maybe older, but alive.
If you can hear me, Lars, please come home.
Experts still debate what happened in Lars's mind during those final days. Was it paranoia triggered by injury or medication? Or the instinctive terror of a man who truly believed he was in danger? Psychologists call it acute fear response, when the body's alarm system overrides logic. In those moments, people run not because they think, but because something deep inside tells them they must. Online, Lars's case became one of the first viral mysteries of the modern true crime era. Thousands of internet sleuths joined forces, analyzing, speculating, empathizing. His story inspired podcasts, Reddit threads, and YouTube channels like this one. People determined not to let him fade into statistics, but amid the noise, his humanity is what truly matters. He wasn't a myth. He was a son, a friend, a man on vacation who simply wanted to go home. Lars Mittank's disappearance forces us to confront questions that reach beyond one case. How easily can fear spiral out of control? How much do we really know about our own minds under stress? And what responsibilities do we have when someone cries out for help, even if their fear doesn't make sense to us? Maybe Lars is gone. Maybe he found peace in a place we can't reach. Or maybe, somewhere out there, he's still trying to find his way home. Until we know, his story reminds us, fear is powerful, and so is hope. In memory of all those who vanished, and those who never stopped searching. The Vanishing of Lars Mittank, the complete story.